Hey, party people. This is the Fall Winter 2023 Runway Review. This season is brought to you by the Cake song from 2001, Short Skirt and Long Jacket, which I will not play lest YouTube boof my video into oblivion. Just keep the song in mind as you watch this review. And you don't even have to know the whole song if you don't know it. You just have to know that they sing the line, "I want a girl with a short skirt and a long jacket," over and over in the song. And please do brighten your screens because there is a lot of black on the runways this season. It's an overall color-wise much more muted season. There's a lot of overall emphasis on wearable clothes. And part of that is they want people shopping. And part of that is, I believe, the key term quiet luxury is such a thing now that now people think anything wearable is quiet luxury. But that's a whole nother video. All right. There are so many shows and I am reviewing the shows people ask for, and if you want me to cover a particular show in the future, you got to follow me and pipe up whenever I put up these polls. Of course I couldn't get to all of them, but I did try to get the ones that people voted for the most. And inspired by a friend's suggestion, I split up my reviews this time around into 3 categories. Okay, number 1, mixed bag. Number 2, shut up and take my money. And number 3, hot messes. All right, let's start with the mixed bags. First of all, Demeulemeester, it's a longtime favorite. I've been following Demeulemeester for a long time and have been a fan for a long time. But a friend of mine actually is the one who asked me to cover this show saying, I think they forgot to design tops. I do too. I think they forgot. There's this thing. Okay, there's a lot of 90s and aughts references throughout the season, and there's this thing, there's this sort of like high fashion sluttiness where there's so much skin showing, and it's hard to describe other than high fashion sluttiness. I think a lot of you know what that means, but it was real prime in the 90s, and it has that vibe but with an Demeulemeester touch. I actually like it, but yeah, they need some tops. They really do. So I can't get wholeheartedly behind it until they design some tops. And jokingly to myself, I said, I think someone at Demeulemeester heard that I gave Kim Jones so much crap for not fitting breasts well. So they just decided not to do it, period. Which honestly sounds like one of my students. It's like, if I don't do it, then Zoe can't tell me I did it wrong. Oh my God. Okay. I got to stop laughing at my own jokes. Next up is Max Mara, who always does gorgeous, gorgeous coats. And, but the rest was really, not great. I don't understand these puffy bustiers, these poofy tops. They give me this look of, towel belted with a bathrobe tie, sort of. They're so bulky. When the silhouette should be flattering, but it's not. But yeah, the coats are great. Oh, here's one thing that's not a coat but looks great. First of all, I love the 2-piece coat situation happening here on this lilac-y pink one. And I love the trouser fronts where it looks like it's folded over in the front. Just a cool silhouette detail. Love that. This is Miu Miu, and the center of this first row is a runway shot from Prada Fall Winter 1996, which, Miu Miu and Prada, they're the same house. So like they're brands coming from the same company. And so it's not really like knocking it off, but I immediately thought of this collection when I saw this Miu Miu collection. So I thought I'd pop in that reference for you. I think you can see where I'm going with the whole sheer layers and everything. Yeah, I was in high school in the 90s. I remember all this stuff. Anyway, I actually really like this whole like the vibe I was getting in the beginning was a librarian got caught shagging and didn't put her clothes back on correctly thing before leaving the closet. It's fun. It's cheeky. It's a little sexy. I didn't love the rest. Some outfits were things you could put together in your own closet. An oversized navy blazer, gray hoodie, and leggings. I mean, a lot of us have those things. And what's new about that? Again, the emphasis on the wearable. I know. Ugh. And just personally, if you are following me in my Watch Me Design a Fashion Collection Season 2, then you know that, or you may remember that I wanted to do these bikini bottoms that were encrusted with stuff, embellished with stuff so much that it would be difficult to sit in them. And now that Miu Miu has done these embellished panties, now I don't want to do it anymore, because then people are going to be like, oh, you copied Miu Miu. So that's that. That's just my personal, white project. Listen, I've been a denim head forever. If you saw my video where I show off my college work, I've been obsessed with deconstructing and refinishing denim for a long time. I love it. The more deconstructed, the better. And I love all the denim stuff in this collection. I love the idea of, instead of shredding denim, which everyone does, is to add the shreds as appliques to non-denim. And I love it. I love what is it? Dirt or burnt denim? I love it, but I just don't think the non-denim stuff is strong. The print, I wasn't, thrilled. It wasn't that interesting. And then here's this white sheer slip dress that looked like an ode to Miu Miu. So random. But yeah, the denim, especially that first jacket, I need that first jacket, okay? If anybody wants to gift me that first jacket, I'm kidding. But I'm not kidding. But yes, I'm not kidding. Woof. Next is Zimmermann. And Zimmermann is a very pretty house, and I've enjoyed Zimmermann, in the past. But this one was absolutely a mixed bag. They start off again with their pretty, soft, lacy things, to be expected, fit and flares, a common silhouette with Zimmermann. And then there's this coat that immediately reminded me of the Viktor and Rolf collection. That's that center red coat reference, because they're so poofy and big. They look like real blankets. And then flashbacks to college, okay? Boho dresses over jeans and like midriff bearing hip hugger pants with the G-string showing. Oh my God. Oh, college days, early aughts. And then power shoulders. What was with the power shoulders? And then back to the soft, okay, less fit and flare, but really beautiful, soft, flowy, beautiful, soft prints. More of the fit and flare that Zimmermann is known for. Yeah, so a lot of the classic styles that we come to expect from Zimmermann. This mustard gold velvet, love, beautiful. And then some randomness in the middle there. Schiaparelli was very elegant and sleek, and I really liked their couture collection from January, and I was hoping they would go along that vein, but they did not. And they said that they were inspired by Elsa Schiaparelli herself, but honestly, I think she dressed a little more interesting and fun and, slyly cheeky than this. This was kind of boring and occasionally gaudy with a little too much gold. And, I was just kind of like looking at it and thinking it had like these vague colonizer vibes. And my husband was looking over my shoulder at what I was working on. And he said, someone watched the Wakanda movie. So I will leave you with that. This next category is shut up and take my money collections, where the vast majority is just really beautiful. First up is McQueen. I know that some people do not love Sarah Burton's McQueen because they want her to be as theatrical and dramatic as McQueen himself was. And I can see that. I miss grandiose, extravagant, just show-stopping evening wear because I freaking love evening wear, right? But please do keep in mind that McQueen's roots are actually Savile Row, the best tailoring, incredible cutter, and these suits are so sharp and so beautiful. And, you know, the evening wear here is not to be sniffed at either, okay? I think it's beautiful. Oh my God, these knit pieces were so incredible, so beautiful. Just, and yeah, like this, some of these last dresses, like the two purple ones, I feel like Alexander McQueen would have really pulled out the stops to make the silhouettes more exaggerated. But I still think nearly everything was really beautiful. Next up is Valentino, and do not be surprised because I haven't loved Valentino for a few seasons, but I really got into this. He said it was inspired by a jacket and tie worn by PPP's daughter. It's this whole thing where he used the tie as a springboard for all this stuff, and all these outfits are worn with a skinny black tie. But at the same time, so many of these looks could be worn without the tie and still be very successful. And that's what makes the collection great. Not this like, you know, cohesive symbol thing. And it still has all the house codes, bows, acidic colors, feathers, rounded billowing shapes, dramatic silhouettes, graphic slices, and blocks of color. The whole thing is as wearable as the rest of the shows this season, but there was so much drama. Like wearable drama. Oh, I think that's like my personal style is just, I love wearable drama where the shapes are easy to wear and they're not so intricate and difficult that you need a lot of, you know, corsetry underneath. You know, it's wearable, but it's dramatic. Also, did I love these because both McQueen and Valentino didn't have, you know, they had less obvious references to previous decades like the rest of the season. Yeah, that often helps. A more modern look always helps. So Nina Ricci, completely inspired by what I think is a cross of My Fair Lady and Cruella de Vil. Keep that in mind as, you know, we scroll through the images. And I have been on the fence about boot cuts and flares coming back because not everyone can do them right. But this show definitely tipped me over onto team boot cuts and flares. I'm ready for them to be back. You know, I love the 70s. These suits, they are destroying me, okay? They are sharp, but they're not skinny. They're not super form-fitting tight. They don't require corsets. They're sleek and long and sinewy. And of course, they're wearing platforms, so the legs are lengthened even more. But I love these sleek shapes. And then the big bows that My Fair Lady reference is making things more playful. The polka dots are playful. The frothy dresses are playful. These stripy, just the My Fair Lady references. I think the polka dots are also Cruella de Vil references because of 101 Dalmatians. Super fun. Now, another reason why this tipped over into Shut Up and Take My Money is I read that they hope to make the suits not only relatively affordable, but also available in extended range of sizes, going up to a US 14 this season and subsequently to a size 18 and beyond. Now, listen, in the overall scheme of things, is that a big range? Absolutely not. That is not good enough. However, are they doing more than any other high fashion brand right now? Yes, they are. You know, there are different bodies in the Nina Ricci show. And it makes me feel like it's not just lip service, but just, yeah, our plans are in place to dress all of y'all. And I like it. Saint Laurent is next. Very wearable, but I want to wear all of it except the mullet skirts, business in the front, party in the back, like not into that. I do love the pencil skirts with a big slash pocket emphasis. Pocket as design feature is one of my favorite things. It's like really cutting and creating a beautiful shape around the hips, but also having like full on pockets. Shut up and take my money. Okay. I do wish there was more variety. It was kind of a one-note show, but everything was really beautiful. Now on to the hot messes. Hot mess number 1, Siriano. This was, okay, first of all, those gloves are amazing. So arm coverings, because the fingers are open. But those things are amazing. But this collection, and I think that's why I often have a problem with his shows, even though, there are individual pieces that I like, is like this white crop top, this asymmetrical top. Very cool. They look like a caricature of evening wear instead of just evening wear. Like they're a little too much. I mean, the Pantone color of the year, magenta, it's very old lady. And this one is like Sunday Best meets Beetlejuice. And this whole tuxedo leotard, like everyone and their mother is doing their version of a tuxedo for evening wear this season. It's a common look, but it's a very prominent this season. But that coupled with the magenta, I mean, that middle maxi coat is beautiful. Like he uses that pattern and cuts a new one every season. And I'm not mad about it. But it's pushes exaggeration and dramatic and moves into caricature and costumey. Like this last look, the bottom part of the skirt sticks out so far, it shortens the model, just makes her look shorter. And the kind of deconstructed tuxedo kind of screams a little bit 80s. On top of the magenta, also 80s. It just doesn't work. It looks dated. Those of you who asked me to cover Chanel so they could listen to me poop on it some more, like, I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Here's the one coat I thought was cool. I actually like this coat. This show was supposed to be an ode to camellias. That middle one looks like fluffy barnacles. I don't know the random placements of those white feathers. I don't know why they are there. And this last row, they look more like Anna Sui than Chanel. And that's not an insult to Anna Sui. Anna Sui does it right with cute ruffles and fun prints and boho vibes. That's not Chanel. That's Anna Sui. Okay, next. This is Gucci, and if you ever wondered if you need a creative director since they don't do any of the actual menial tasks associated with designing, here you go. This was a directionless bookmark put in place until a new creative director can take over. A random collection of references from the 90s and aughties, a little Tom Ford, a little McKaylee, a lot lost. Okay, there's the sheers over tights plus sequins and pailles, except it looked more like a Versace Prada remix from 20 years ago. And this whole row looks like it's auditioning for Chanel. And this row looks like it's auditioning for Miu Miu. It's all over the place. I don't know what is happening. And it's not even like, hey, let's do a collection of nice wearable clothes where people will buy but I don't know. Not a lot of this stuff was very wearable. Yeah, they need a creative director now, immediately. Let's get on that. This is Balenciaga. And I read the snippet. In the wake of its advertising scandal, creative director Demeulemeester wants to focus on the art of making clothes. Oh, I cussed so loud when I read that. Really? Really? Now you want to focus on clothes? Pfft, okay. So, when I was first looking at the collection, I was actually really interested in the upside down pants. And I thought there was going to be more suit deconstruction. And I got really pumped about that. So I was giving Balenciaga a chance. But no, it's just a lot of upside down pants. And I do not like this whole, let me just not let women use one arm sort of dresses. There's already so much misogyny in fashion. We don't need yet another thing that is really an optional choice that has nothing to do with design. Like, I don't know if there's a slit in there where a hand could come out. I don't need this whole like one-armed sort of presentation. Like, everything about it, the look of it, the symbolism of it is trash. I don't like it. And then these floral print Richard Quinn knockoffs. No. And then this tailoring, the shoulders hiked up around the ears, looks like the pose of a sheepish person ashamed of something they did. And I'll just leave it at that. So those were my assessments of the shows. A lot of beautiful things, a lot of wearable things, a lot of focus on wearable, a lot of suiting and tuxedo effects, a lot of corselet effects at McQueen, Max Mara, Schiaparelli. The decades that really got punched out are the 90s and aughties. And then a lot of wartime vibes, you know, Saint Laurent, aviators, huge shoulders, bomber jackets, 80s references where if you look back at the 80s, reference the 40s a lot. So there's a lot of this like pre-new look 40s effects, the narrow suiting. There's a lot of houses doing the whole let's not wear pants thing. Miu Miu, sheers over tights, Gucci, you know, baby shorts at Valentino, Nina Ricci, even Siriano did a tuxedo leotard. And then Demeulemeester was like, instead of pants, let's not do tops. Lots of layers of sheers at Gucci, Miu Miu, Nina Ricci, polka dots everywhere. So you tell me, is this quiet luxury or is it wearable or is it boring? Okay. Personally, I think runways are not for clothes. They're for fashion. Okay. Anyone can make clothes, but runways are for fashion. So you tell me, did you see fashion or did you see a bunch of clothes? And that wraps up this runway review. Please drop me your opinions in the comments and let me know if you want me to do another runway review in the future. Please like this video if you enjoyed my rants and raves, and I will see you in the next video.